Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Okay, so we're starting from lesson 10 now. Yes, it's recording. Okay, so we're starting from lesson 10. We're learning how to stretch the letters. So before we do that, a quick revision, just so you remember how to do the previous things, because it's very important to remember everything perfectly before we move on to the next lesson. The next lesson. So the previous lessons, we start off learning the fatha, the kasra, and the dhamma, how they were pronounced. And we said that they were very short. You cannot stretch them. And we said that the fatha makes an a sound, a, ba, ta, tha. So make them very short and quick, like this. I'll beat this box over here. A, ma, ra, amara. Very quick, not stretching anything. And likewise, the kasra, I, bi, ti, thi, ji, hi, khi. Yeah, very short. A, the, na. So look at the arrow. Adhina. Make them very short. So you cannot stretch them at all. If you stretch it a tiny bit, it's a mistake. And then we learned the dhamma letters as well. So we said that the dhamma makes an u sound. So it becomes u, bu, tu, thu. So again, very quick and short. So like this, I'll do one example reading the box. Ju'ila, ju'ila. So notice I haven't stretched any of the letters. So if I say ju'ila, where's the mistake? Which letter? Quickly point to it. Yes, it's the jim. I stretched it, didn't I? Or if I say ju'ila, where's the mistake? Yes, it's the ayn. Okay, so the ayn's the mistake. Or if I say, let's take this box. Okay, so spot the mistake. Dhu, li, ma. Dhulima. Where was the mistake? Yes, it's on the lam. Okay, over here, because I stretched it, didn't I? Okay, so you cannot stretch any of the boxes. And then we learned the double fatha, which gives an n sound. So it becomes an an, then double kasra becomes an in. And we also learned the double dhamma, which becomes an un. Okay, so you should remember that, so I'm not going to spend any time on that. Okay, so now we're going to learn lesson 10, how to stretch the letters. On a piece of paper or on a notebook, I want you to write the rule. Okay, the rule here that we're going to learn is what you call a maddul asli. I'll tell you what to write in a minute. So maddul asli is when you have a letter with a fatha, and then after the fatha letter, you have an alif. What the alif does is it makes the letter stretch. So before we read, this was ba, without any stretching. Now what happens if when I add an alif to a fatha letter, it stretches. So the ba becomes ba. Okay, so over here. So the alif, it makes the fatha letter stretch. Okay, so now in your book, I want you to write this rule. So write al hyphen, i.e. dash, madd, so which spells al-mad, then a space, the next word, al hyphen, i.e. dash, asli, asli. So you should spell al-mad, al-asli. So I want you to write that down. So you can pause the video if you need to slow down, and then write it, and then go back, and you can press play again. Okay, so these are all what we call al-maddul asli. So when you have a fatha letter, and after it is a alif. So here again, the ta is our fatha letter, because that's a fatha on top, obviously, and then straight after it is an alif. So you all stretch it. So this will become ta, and the next one, tha, ja, ha. So this is from the middle of the throat. So you have to put a lot more emphasis in it. So this is a very hard letter to read. Ha. I can now circle this one. So you should always have a pencil ready before you do these lessons. And so circle the kha over here. And so that your teacher can see it when you come into class, that you've gone through this video. So kha, so empty, full mouth. So don't say kha, empty mouth, make it full mouth. Kha. And here again, the dal has an alif, so you'll stretch. Da. The. And now circle this one as well. Okay, so this is ra, full mouth. So it becomes ra. So don't read it as ra. Read it full mouth. Ra. Next is za. Okay, and now the next one. This is a sin with a fatha and an alif at the end. So this becomes sa. Okay, now if you look at the next one, I'm going to ignore this one first. I'm going to go to this one. So this is a sad with a fatha and an alif after it. So this is similar to the sa, but now this one is full mouth. So I want you to circle this one as well. So this one is sa. So it's different to this one. So this one is sa, and this one is sa. So very similar, but slightly different. So I want you to practice reading these two. So don't read them the same. And then you can, if you need to listen to this again, you can just rewind it slightly and then listen to how to read these again. This one is sha, empty mouth. Okay, now circle this one, circle this one, and circle this one. These three are all full mouth. So this is da, full mouth. Don't read it as da, or else it will be the same as this, which will be a very big mistake. So this is da over here. Now over here, it's not da, it's da, full mouth. Now likewise, this as well. This is ta. Okay, now, okay, it's full mouth. Now if I read this letter, which I just read now, which I'm pointing to, as empty mouth, which letter would it become? You can pause the video to think about it. If I read it as empty mouth, it would become this letter over here, ta. If I read this as empty mouth, this would also be ta, but that would be a very big mistake. So don't do that. You have to read it full mouth. So it becomes ta. Okay, now this one is dha. Again, if I read this as empty mouth, do you know which letter it will become? It will turn into? Okay, if I read it as empty mouth, it will become this letter. How do you read this? If you can read it now. You say it as the. Now if I read this as for empty mouth, it will also become the, which is a mistake. So it's full mouth. Dha. This one is a. And I'll circle this one as well. Gha. Fa. And circle this one. Qa. And okay, so this one's full mouth. This is a very hard letter to pronounce. So you have to try your best to try to read it. It comes from the top of the throat, right at the. No, sorry, not the top of the throat. It comes right at the back of the mouth, extreme back of the mouth, touching the soft palate. So it has that q sound. So I want to try and practice that sound. Q. So q. So that's a very difficult letter to pronounce. And the other difficult letter to pronounce is the ha, which comes from the middle of the throat. So ha. And the other difficult letter to pronounce is the ha, qaf, and the ayn as well, over here. So that comes from the middle of the throat. So it's a. So it's not a with the hamza, it's a. So you have to put a lot of emphasis into it. And then this one is ka. The mistake that many people make, most students, is they read this one as ka, and they read this one exactly the same. Ka, but they're not. This one is full mouth, isn't it? Qa, and this is ka. See the difference? And then this is la, ma, na, wa, ha, a. So this is a hamza with an alif. Then ya. Okay, so now pause the video and I want you to practice these three lines. Try to practice pronouncing the letters correctly, and also practice stretching all the letters. And then on the next lesson, we'll go into the exercise and learn how to read the words.